Before we discuss how water and minerals are absorbed by plants, one thing is very important to remember, that why this water and these minerals are important for plants. So we will start with the importance. We'll start with the importance of water for plants. As you all know that plants prepare their food by a special process known as photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is a process by which plants make their own food, and when they make their food, what do they need? They need raw materials, and these raw materials are inorganic, means they use carbon dioxide, they use water in the presence of what? In the presence of sunlight. So in this case, water is an important raw material which is required for the plants to make their food, which is required for the plants to carry on photosynthesis. So this is the first importance of water for plants. This is why plants need water, because for the process of photosynthesis, for making their own food, the main raw material is carbon dioxide and water. So water is required for what? It is required for photosynthesis, right? Next we move on to transpiration. You know what is transpiration? You must have read in your previous classes that transpiration is the loss of water from stomata, right? So a loss of water from the stomata. For transpiration, for this transpiration we need what? We need water. So on the lower side of leaf, mostly the stomata are present in large number on the lower side of the leaf. So these stomata are like pores which are regulated by certain guard cells. You must have an idea about these guard cells, stomata, these pores opening and closing. So this water transpiration is an important phenomena taking place in plants. Why? Because transpiration helps the plant to remain cool during warm environments, and secondly, transpiration creates a suctional pull, right? What is this suction pull? You will understand when we move forward in this chapter, but this transpirational pull or suction pull helps the plant to absorb water, to absorb minerals which are required for its proper growth and functioning. So water is required for photosynthesis and for transpiration as well. Next we move on to transportation. As you all know that water is a universal solvent. So the transportation of other substances throughout the plant, for example, if we talk about the transportation of say food which is prepared in the leaves of the plant. Remember, the food is manufactured in the leaves of the plant. So the food that is prepared in the leaves of the plant has to be circulated throughout the whole plant, in the roots also, in the stem also, in other parts also. So that transportation of food which is in the form of glucose, the food of plant is in the form of glucose, that food has to be transported, and that medium for transportation of this glucose throughout the whole body of the plant is water. So water helps in transportation of food and other important substances that are required for plants' growth and functioning. Next we move on to mechanical strength. You must have noticed when you don't water plants for more than a week, or for some plants for a few days, what happens? They show stunted growth. But when you start watering that plants, what happens? They get mechanical strength and they grow properly. You all have discussed about diffusion and osmosis, and you all know that when we talk about mechanical strength, what happens when we keep a plant cell in fresh water? It becomes what? It becomes turgid. So it retains its shape and it becomes turgid. So this is how, when we provide a plant cell what? This component, water, the cells maintain their mechanical strength, they remain turgid, and that is why we always in our gardens keep on watering the plants, so that the cells remain turgid and they have mechanical strength, and the plant has mechanical strength. So remember that in case of water, what we have discussed, the 4 important points. Why do we need water? Why do plants need water? Plants need water for carrying out the process of photosynthesis, transpiration, transportation, and Water provides also mechanical strength to the plants. We have discussed in case of photosynthesis that photosynthesis is a process by which plants make their own food, and in that process plants need some raw material, and this raw material is roughly carbon dioxide, water and sunlight. So water is also an important raw material for plants to carry out the process of photosynthesis. That is why plants need water. Secondly, we discussed about transpiration. You all know that transpiration is a loss of water from the stomata, that these are some pores which are present abundantly on the lower leaf surface of the plant, and this loss of water is important to create suction, right? For example, when the plant needs a circulation of minerals and water, what is going to happen? Plants need some force due to which those minerals and the water is going to get transported. So that force is the suction. Suction is going to create a pull due to which those minerals and other useful substances are going to enter through the roots. So this is how transpiration is very important, and this happens because of only this component, that is water. Thirdly, water is an important component for transportation. We have discussed one very important aspect of that. As you know that leaves are there which are going to prepare food for the plant, and the food is there in the leaves of the plant. So what is going to happen? This food needs to be transported throughout the whole body of the plant. So for this transportation, the medium required is water. Next, water also provides mechanical strength. We all know that when we keep a plant cell in fresh water, it becomes turgid because of the flow of water from high water potential from the surroundings to inside the cell, which is at low water potential. So this makes a cell what? It makes a cell more turgid, and it definitely provides mechanical strength to the whole plant. For example, you must have noticed when you water the plants in the garden, supposingly you forgot to water a plant for more than a week or so, the plant loses its strength. It has stunted growth. But when we start watering that plant again, after a few days the plant gets mechanical strength and it grows now properly. So remember, water is necessary for photosynthesis, transpiration, transportation and mechanical strength in case of plants. Next we move on to another important components that are required for proper functioning and growth of plants, that is the minerals. Right? Now we will discuss the minerals by the functions. First is movement of substances. As you all know that there are some substances which need to move in and out of the cell, because it's not just like plant only need water, carbon dioxide, only 2, 3, 4 substances for their proper growth. Many other components which are in great detail, which you will read in higher classes, they are required for the proper functioning of plants. And in that category we also have some minerals which are required for proper functioning of plants. In the deficiency of these important minerals, the plants are not going to grow properly. They will show some stunted growth and in fact some deficiency symptoms also. For example, if I give an example in case of soyabean plants, you see that when there is deficiency of iron in case of soyabean plants, this would lead to the yellowing of leaves. So this is the symptom, this is a deficiency symptom which plants show when there is deficiency of some mineral. So we will discuss how these minerals are important. For example, for movement of some substances in plants, we have a mineral that is calcium. So this calcium is going to help the plant for the movement of certain substances. For example, I can say that calcium is an important mineral which is going to help the plant to carry out other metabolic processes of other substances. So you can say that calcium is helping other substances to perform their metabolic processes. So calcium is helping for the movement of other substances in and out of the cell in a plant. Remember, calcium is helping the movement of other substances which are vital for the metabolic processes of the plant to move in and out of the cell, right? Then next we move on for respiration. For this, I will say that the phosphorus, which is an important mineral, it is required for respiration in plants. How? Well, you must have heard about energy currency of the cell, that is ATP. ATP is the energy currency of the cell. What is its full form? It is adenosine triphosphate. It is adenosine triphosphate. So you see here we have 3 phosphate molecules. So from this you can make out that phosphorus is required for respiration in case of plants. You all know that respiration is what? It is the process of release of energy. So the energy currency of the cell is ATP. So this phosphorus mineral is important component, a vital component of this energy currency of the cell, that is ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Next we move on to activating enzymes. For activation of certain enzymes we need certain minerals, such as we talk about elements as potassium and magnesium. They help in the activation of certain enzymes in the plants. You all know that enzymes are very important to start a chemical reaction. So these enzymes are vital for the proper functioning of a cell, for a proper functioning of a chemical process or a metabolic process. So these enzymes are activated by potassium and magnesium. Next we move on to make chlorophyll and nucleic acids. When we are talking about chlorophyll, I will say that magnesium is an important element which helps in the formation of chlorophyll. If you can understand the structure of chlorophyll, I will just roughly draw it, because just to give you an idea how this magnesium is present in the structure of chlorophyll. The structure of chlorophyll is basically having an important main structure, that is a porphyrin ring. I will not be able to draw the whole structure of chlorophyll, but a porphyrin ring which is somewhat like this. So we have a porphyrin ring. So during this formation of this porphyrin ring, what happens? We have this magnesium ion present over here. This magnesium presence in the porphyrin ring, which is roughly this type of a structure. This is the porphyrin ring in case of chlorophyll, in which at the center this magnesium element is present in this porphyrin ring, which makes up the structure of chlorophyll. So for the formation of chlorophyll we need magnesium. And when we talk about nucleic acids, remember nitrogen is an important component of nucleic acids. We have discussed, and you must have read before, that there are nitrogenous bases in the structure of DNA. That nitrogenous bases are mainly containing what? This important element, that is nitrogen. So nitrogen is important to make what? To make nucleic acids. And magnesium is important to what? To make chlorophyll. Next, they all are the building blocks, right? Why building blocks? Here I can cite an example of say calcium pectate. So calcium pectate is present in the middle lamella of the cells. It just helps in binding two cells, right? And it acts as a cementing material. For example, in case of plant cells, you all know that these plant cells have cell wall, and there is some region in the adjacent plant cells. There is certain region, and that region we call as middle lamella, and in that we have calcium pectate, which helps as a binding material, as a cementing material, which helps in the attachment of these two adjacent cells. So they are also, minerals are the building blocks for a plant cell. So remember, in case of minerals we have discussed that calcium is required for the movement of other substances in and out of the cell. Phosphorus is required for respiration, because we have recalled that ATP is the energy currency of the cell, and ATP is what? It is adenosine triphosphate, and this ATP, this energy, is required for all the processes in the cell. Remember, for all the processes. So this phosphorus is an important component, vital component of ATP. So it is required for respiration, and for activation of enzymes we need potassium and magnesium To make chlorophyll, we need magnesium, and I've just roughly drawn a porphyrin ring how it looks like, and in the center we have a magnesium element. So this is how for making chlorophyll we need magnesium, and for making nucleic acids we need nitrogen. Just recall that we have nucleic acids and the nitrogenous bases are mainly composed of what? Nitrogen. So in the DNA we have nitrogenous bases. So that nitrogenous bases are composed of what? Nitrogen, obviously. So next we talk about building blocks. You all know that two adjacent cells, they have middle lamella between them, and that middle lamella has what? Calcium pectate, which helps as a binding material, or you can say cementing material, which is going to help these cells to join. So remember from all this that what is the importance of water and what is the importance of minerals for plants. So you can elaborate this answer, and when you get a question like this, you will be able to answer and to make out how certain minerals are really very important for the proper growth and for the proper functioning of other components also in the plants. For example, here you can see that activation of enzymes is possible by certain elements like potassium and magnesium. So if they are not there, the enzymes won't be activated, no process will be carried forward. Okay, so that is why they are important components. When we talk about the structure of DNA, you all know that in case of DNA, there is the backbone of DNA, which is composed of what? Sugar and a phosphorus molecule. So that phosphorus is very important for the formation of DNA, and if there is no DNA, there is no life actually. So remember that the importance of water and minerals is actually of vital importance for the plants. Why? Because if water and minerals are not there, there will be no plants actually. So these are important, water and minerals, and you all can now recall photosynthesis, transpiration, transportation, mechanical strength. In case of minerals, we have movement of substances for respiration, activating enzymes to make chlorophyll, nucleic acid, and the building blocks. So this is how you can recall. There are many other functions of this water and minerals which we can elaborate further, but for your understanding why do plants need this is sufficient, and you can elaborate this in terms of your understanding what you have understood by listening to this lecture. So remember that water and minerals are very important for the plants, and they need to be transported throughout the whole body of the plant, and how these are transported we'll discuss now.